Yo, what's up guys, John Boogle here. Here we are with the first revenge stage of the Mask Boy, aka Wrath of Carnage. This one is a fairly tricky one if you don't have some Ubers to use for this stage, but if you do have some Ubers to use in this stage, then you shouldn't really be struggling. But in case you don't, here we are. This is basically the basic lineup. Now, due to the special cat talents, this stage might have become a joke, but I highly doubt everyone has invested their NP into the special cats yet, especially Bondage Cat, since a lot of people still haven't bought Bondage Cat. So I don't expect people to have talented out Bondage Cat, but if you do, just know this stage does become a massive joke. Now, the base lineup is very simple. It heavily relies on high-level basic cats. So if you don't have any Ubers to fill in that hole for having lower level basic cats, you're not going to pass this stage unless you're using some talented special cats. And using the basic lineup does heavily rely on your Bahamut timing. So if you have any Ubers that are very great against Frost, be sure to use them here. And if you have any Ubers that are good against anti-red, use them here. Pi does pretty much destroy the stage. Now, instead of using Ubers in this guide, we're going to use, of course, Dancer Cat, since ours is level 40, and sometimes Bahamut won't be able to wipe out Frost fully. And it's very common because the closer Mask Boy does get to your base, the harder it becomes to keep Bahamut alive during the Frost waves. And having King Dragon alone is really not enough to handle if Bahamut does die, and that's why we have Dancer. But of course, if you have Ubers, you shouldn't really have an issue too much. Now, the beginning is pretty much the same. Just want to rush forward and start sending out your islands and whatever other anti-red you're using. In this case, we're using Dark Cat with that double strong up combo. And our Dancer does have two talents. It is the Wave Immune and the Surge talent, but it doesn't really affect that much, so you do not need talents for Dancer at all. Level 40 is enough to handle the job in case Bahamut does get one shot in a case where all the enemies are very close to the base. Now, as soon as the boar goes down, that's when you want to stop sending out everything. The longer it takes for Frost to lure over to your base, the more trouble it'll be later on in the level with cycles. Now, as for timing Bahamut goes, it's very simple. First of all, you want to clear everything that's in the way. You do not want to send out Bahamut when there is peons in the way, as that will ruin everything. Having the snakes in the way means Eraser can't go up to stall Frost's attack animation. That means Bahamut will pretty much just get knocked back over and over again. Now, if you still are wondering about how to time Bahamut into Frost's attack, let's take a look at that. So Frost has one attack, but he has two animations. The initial animation and the initial headbang is the one that's actually an attack and does damage. However, the second time he does the headbang is a dummy animation and it does no damage. That is your timing window to send out Bahamut. Now, if you are still struggling to get the timing down, all I can say is you're gonna have to put in more time to practice it more, because there really is no efficient way to take out Frost other than Uber usage and, of course, Bahamut. But as the stage goes on, it gets harder and harder to do that because you won't have that much space and time to handle Frost alone with Bahamut. Sometimes Bahamut will just get completely one-shot by the Mask Boy. Sometimes there might be too many peons in the way. Maybe you won't have enough cash to take them out first. And that is where King Dragon and whatever other ranged attacker you are using comes in to save you. But you want to at least get one hit on every Frost wave with Bahamut. Otherwise, you're gonna struggle heavily and you're gonna lose. Then you can just cycle King Dragon, and in this case we're using Dancer Cat to finish and clean up the rest for the next boar wave, because you do not want boar to be there and Frost supporting it. That's when you're pretty much guaranteed to lose unless you're using something like Pi. Yeah, as far as that goes, if you weren't having troubles with the first Realm of Carnage using the basic lineup, you won't have trouble with this one either. because this is pretty much the same level, but you're forced to use that basic lineup unless you have some very nice Ubers at your usage. Now the basic tips I can give always for this stage is do not wait too long on sending out your A Bahamut. That will ruin your cycles very heavily, and the next time Aros comes up, you won't have A Bahamut charged up in time, and the longer you take, the longer the cycles get messed up. That means Boar might pair up with Aros in the later cycles, so make sure you do cycle your units correctly and quickly. That's why in the beginning it is so crucial to lure Aros as quickly as possible, because the longer it takes to lure him, the more your cycles will get messed up. And if it does come to the situation where you are using Dragon or Beefcake, let's say, or Dancer to take out Aros because A Bahamut dies, it's gonna take a decently long time, and that is very good time wasted. And if you take way too long, that's when Boar starts to come up and he will go in front of Aros, and it's pretty much GG for you from there. Other than that, Sniper Cat power up really does help in this stage. Once you're handling the Boar waves very close to the base, it can help, like this situation right here. So if you do turn on Sniper in a dire situation, it does help. Of course, Rich Cat does help greatly in the beginning. Being able to quickly take out that Boar and lure the Aros even quicker is a huge plus, and that'll give you a bigger window to deal with Aros later in the cycles. And of course, Uber usage. There's a lot of good Ubers to use for this stage. The anti-reds that are strong, anti-red nukers are very nice. Of course, pretty much any anti-traitless Uber is nice for the stage as long as it outranges Aros. Yeah, if you have some NP laying around and you have special cats that aren't upgraded, that is a very nice decision to go. Those bondage talents really does break this stage. Of course, Beefcake, Dancer, even Dark Laser. You have none of those and you have your little dragon completely maxed out. You can use that as well. Macho Legs, of course, too. Yeah, other than that, it's pretty much high level basics or die. Most of the basics in this recording are pretty much at plus 50, plus 40. So that is the range you want to go for. Dark Cat is at plus 30 in this recording though, so that is probably why we struggled just a little bit during the Boar waves. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up the first level of River Acheron, the first revenge stage. The most Aros waves you will face in this level is 3, maybe 4 if you take a little bit too long, but that's of course without Uber usage. But yeah, if you are still struggling with something, make sure to comment it down below. I'll try to help you out. If you have a strategy you want to share, you can also post it in the comments down below. This is the start of the first half of the Revenge Advent, so get ready for the other two, which is Baku and Queen Bee, of course, or Queen Bitch as I would call it. But yeah, subscribe if you're new, join the hashtag Boogle gang. There's a lot of you that isn't subscribed and are watching video after video. Why are you not subscribed yet? Make sure you do subscribe. Drop a like if this guide helped you out, of course. And I'll be here soon to see you for the second part of this stage. It's been John Boogle, and see ya!